Indian workforce is a dynamic force driving our nation's growth with over 500 million people in the labor pool. But the quantity alone isn't enough. We need to consider quality and distribution of skills across our society, which can only be achieved by our education system.
This brings us to the theory of complementary holism, the idea that a society is made up of interconnected spheres, the political, the kinship, economic, and cultural realms. Our education system must be such that all these aspects are imbibed to truly empower our workforce. It's about creating a holistic education system that prepares students for the complexities of modern world.
These observations hit the nail on the head. According to 2011 census, India faces a significant literacy challenge with 25.76 crore non-literate individuals in the 15 years and above age group. This comprises 9.08 males and 16.68 crore females.
World Economic Forum in 2021, which said around 55% of Indian population, working population, requires a reskilling, which means that the current population doesn't have enough skills to get employed, which more or less leads to more structural unemployment.
But here's a silver lining. As the world's most populous country, India benefits from a significant youth demographic. With 25% of our population aged 15 to 29, we are primed to meet the demand for skilled labor across various sectors. Now, the question is, how do we harness this potential?
India's old education policy focused heavily on rote learning and standardized testing, creating a system that prioritized memorizing over critical thinking and problem solving skills. Students were often confined to the rigid streams like science, commerce, or arts early in their academic life, limiting interdisciplinary learning. In contrast, education system in Europe and USA emphasize flexibility, creativity, and skill development with a focus on experimental learning.
The older curriculum was little outdated. Probably it was more based on the theoretical concepts, not very much practical in nature. Even if we say engineering field, people used to study in the classroom more than the labs. The thing is, if it can be related to the industry in the practical field more than that of the theoretical knowledge, it will be better.
Generally, you will find there is almost a gap of 20 to 30 years between one policy and another. And in between, small commissions took place, like Montel Commission or Sachar Commission, etc. But they made a few changes in terms of inclusion, not exactly in terms of job market and etc.
A study found that 80% of Indian engineers were unemployed in the knowledge sector due to the lack of practical and cognitive skills.
Enter the National Education Policy 2020, a bold attempt to address these systematic issues and align India's education system with global standards. The NEP introduces a 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 curricular structure, replacing the old 10 plus 2 system. It emphasizes foundational illiteracy and numeracy, crucial for building a strong educational foundation. It promotes multilingualism and the power of language in teaching and learning. It aims to offer vocational education to 50% of learners by 2025. In essence, the NEP is trying to create a more flexible, holistic, and multidisciplinary approach to education.
So that is also the reason why NEP was essential, because it focuses on improving the enrollment ratio from about we are in around 27-28% to about 50% is the target.
Let's consider the potential impacts of NEP both in short run and long run. In short term, the NEP's emphasis on foundational literacy and numeracy can significantly improve early education. According to the Annual Status of Education Report 2019, only 50% of grade 5 students can read a grade 2 text. With NEP's focus on foundational literacy by 2025, we expect notable improvement in these basic aspects. Looking at the long-time horizon, NEP aims to transform the education system by 2040. The policy's emphasis on multidisciplinary and holistic education can lead to a more skilled and versatile workforce. The World Economic Forum predicts that 65% of children entering the primary school today will work in a job that doesn't even exist today. By fostering critical thinking and creativity, NEP prepares students for a dynamic job market. Moreover, by promoting research and innovation, India could climb up the Global Innovation Index, where it currently ranks 46 as of 2021. This shift can propel India's economic growth by making it a global knowledge hub.
You people are studying multidisciplinary courses, holistic education, skill development classes are given. These are tangible impacts of your NEP.
The whole idea of major and minor, again, it's a very American way of understanding. So we are getting we are actually parting from the whole concept of honors, where a student is only only specialized in one subject, and now we are talking about two major and then another minor, and it's becoming more flexible, which is good.
The NEP attempts to balance these perspectives, but challenges remain. Critics argues that its implementation is underfunded. The current education expenditure is about 4.6% of the GDP, falling short of the recommended 6%. Additionally, the policy's emphasis on regional languages may pose challenges in states with diverse linguistic populations, potentially affecting student mobility and national unity. The policy focuses on digital learning, also highlights the digital divide, with only 23.8% of the Indian households having internet access, according to the last survey. Lastly, the lack of clear implementation timelines raises concerns about the feasibility of achieving its goals.
In the process of taking into creating a transformation in the educational system, there is more commercialization happening. So, more of a market, a neoliberal framework is influencing the market, and the neoliberal framework clearly says that wherever you don't have a market, you create a market. All these developed economies, when you look into it, they have health and education is with the state, but for us, health and education is with the private.
Already in India, there is an urban-rural divide for education. There is a medium, vernacular and English medium, and board divide. So IB board, the CBSE, ICSE, and then other state boards, that divided already there. I am just afraid that NEP, if it is not implemented holistically, it will just widen that divide and create more such hierarchies, and will make actually good education more elitist, which should not be the outcome of education.
NEP is a step towards aligning our education system to the global standards, but its success will depend on effective implementation and addressing key challenges.
It has the potential to transform our workforce, but requires continuous evaluation and adaptation.
It's all up to us, educators, students, and policymakers, to make this vision a reality.